So, how'd you guys do yesterday? This is supposed to be a year-long escapade. And you got, knowing you people, you just wrote down the names like maniacs that I said in yesterday's video. And the funny thing is, you were rewarded for the right ones, and you were even rewarded for the wrong ones. When it comes to Linemate plays, you actually have to stay up to date. So when I made that video, what did I say? Take Kopitar, Kempe, Laferriere, Kopitar, Laferriere. So you went to your phone. You didn't do any follow-ups, any checkups like you're supposed to confirm that those players are playing together, and you won them all anyway. How about the Teravainen, Foligno, Bedard, Eklund, Granlund, Toffoli? 1 goal in the Chicago game, 3 bets were hit. 1 goal in the Dallas game, 3 bets were hit. That's the beauty of Linemate same-game parlays. These weren't available 2 seasons ago on Draftkings. Hockey, as I tried to tell you, it varies from sportsbook to sportsbook. There are only certain sportsbooks that let you do X and other ones that let you do Y. These are all the things you have to sort out. Wait, but who knows it all? Me. That's who knows it all. And I will be getting into my Friday Sniffs, and this is actually an easy slate for me to continue this, and you guys can continue to familiarize yourself with the process, because there's not a Vince McMahon chance in hell that I would be doing this on a big slate, nor will I. All these Linemate bets should run parallel. It's guaranteed money. You should be putting that in, and that's your little piggy bank to the side. That's just going to continue to build toward the end of the season. And then there's just standard NHL sniffs. But I can give you a little bit of both today. So how about I start you with an NHL sniff or two? Well, we got this game in Colorado. They're facing the Anaheim Ducks. And Colorado can't keep pucks out of their net. Every single game we had the over on the team total for the Boston Bruins. They scored, what was it? With an empty netter, did they get to 5? Did they get to 6 goals? This is what the Avalanche are right now. They're missing a huge chunk of their team. Even Devon Taves didn't play the last game, and what's even worse than that, they're getting brutal goaltending. Now, they have a beatable team coming into their building, and the Avalanche kind of need their first win. I would imagine that they would push. But you want to know what I'm going to go with? They can't keep pucks out of their net. Usually when things go bad, they tend to go worse. Give me the best player on the Anaheim Ducks. Who is it? Who is it? You tried to argue it with someone else the other. Troy Terry. I believe he scored in back-to-back games, has points in back-to-back games. He's their best player. They paid him a lot of money, as they should have. Of all their little young stars there, we'll see about the really young ones like Carlson. But I am a huge Troy Terry supporter. When I watch him play, he looks like the one. If you actually put him on another team around the NHL, he will still be successful. He's not one of these point-racking stat rats on a bad team that you tend to see from time to time on some of these bad teams. So give me a plus money point for Troy Terry, especially because Anaheim's one of those teams very difficult to stack with correlated power plays and top lines, because they do a weird janky type of thing where they take players from one line, put them on the power play, and then mix them with the players from the second and third. It's like a buffet style. One guy from the first, one guy from the second, one guy from the third, and it's hard to correlate some line mates and whatnot. But I do like Troy Terry in that game. And then in the Winnipeg game, they're facing the Sharks, who, yeah, they nailed the line mate parlays for us. But Winnipeg is on one of these runs. They started the season with one of these runs that we saw last year. Nobody's going in there and scoring a lot, whether they're winning or whether they're losing. Last game, I think, was a 2-1 home win against Minnesota, or did they? I think they had one more after that as well. But these are low-scoring wins at home. And my first thought was, well, let's just see. I mean, maybe it's early in the season. Maybe we'll get a good. No, the under 2.5 is out of play. But I personally think, especially if Connor Hellebuck's playing, we kind of been given a weird gift. Michael Granlund on the San Jose Sharks. Yes, any player on the San Jose Sharks is plus 125 for under half of a point, Andy. Okay, I mean, one of their best players for under half of an assist. Granlund on there. This isn't Cyril Kaprizov. This is Michael Granlund. He is one of those stat rat raking up points on a bad team. However, there's pretty much nobody I wouldn't mind betting an under on when it comes to this game. So rather than, I can try to take, Will Smith and try to, it's kind of just funny to say that. You can take Will Smith and Wallman or try to do something like that. I think I'm going to go under half of an assist for Michael Granlund. Maybe he snakes one out. But remember, those bets off to the side, the Linemate parlays, which are in their own bank account. If Granlund screws you on one side, at least him and one of those other guys probably got in on a bet. So speaking of those, I can talk about some of these because there are only a couple games on the slate. We got Pittsburgh, we got Carolina. Pittsburgh, you only have 2 guys on the top line who are on the top power play. They use 2 defensemen on their top power play, so that eliminates any sort of other combinations. Like game 1, we had Raquel and Malkin. That's why we used them. Raquel's off the top power play, so we can't use them. So it's going to be Crosby 1 point, Rust 1 point. That puts you into plus money. I think it was like plus 110. Then on the other side, they have the full top line correlated on the top power play. That means we're doing exactly what we did. We're doing Svechnikov 1 point with Aho 1 point. We're doing Aho 1 point with Jarvis 1 point. And then we're doing Jarvis 1 point with Svechnikov 1 point. And they all range from plus 120 to plus 140. And against Pittsburgh, this kind of excites me because Pittsburgh has had to pull Tristan Jarry yet again. They're using like an AHL goalie filling in. So whoever's in there, Carolina should be able to score a couple of goals. Usually when Carolina plays, they're known as a defensive team, so they set the total at 6. But I think Pittsburgh is in such flux with their goaltending. I mean, how many goals did Buffalo score on them? And by the way, remember those games in Germany where it was, no, it wasn't Germany. Where was it? Switzerland? No, it wasn't Switzerland. It was Czech Republic, or Czechia, as they call it now. Damn it. Remember that Buffalo was the worst they can. They're right back to the scam 5 Sabres. They're scoring. They're losing high-scoring games. Give it time, and things will iron themselves out, and that will just continue to happen over the first month or two. So those are the point parlays for that game right there. Then let's go to that Sharks-Jets game. The Jets top line, it's just like Carolina's top line. All 3 guys play together at 5-on-5 and on the top power play. So we're doing the full merry-go-round. Give me 1 point for Connor, 1 point for Scheifele. Minus 110. You didn't like that. You don't like minuses on this channel. Take your minus and like it, because you don't skip a player around here just because you don't like it. Then Scheifele with Gabe Vilardi, and then you have Vilardi with Kyle Connor, and those 2 are in the plus money at least. And then, it's a scary proposition, but all of them hit for you last night. So that's Granlund with Eklund, Granlund with Toffoli, and Toffoli with Eklund. Look, if you lose that, at least you're going to hit your under on half of a Granlund assist. So, look, you don't have to. If you want, you can either exclude the Sharks from your pool when it comes to the Linemate point parlays and just do the under half of an Eklund assist, or do the opposite. Don't take the under half of an Eklund assist and do the Linemate combinations. Then there's the Avalanche and Anaheim. This is a little bit of advanced knowledge, because this, it's just like the alphabet. It's just like baloney. You read baloney. It's not spelled baloney, but it's pronounced baloney. And that's how it works with some of the teams. Some teams, for example, their top power play, like the Penguins, like Carolina, they get 90 seconds of time. Some power plays, they give both units 1 minute of time. That's what Anaheim is. So Anaheim, you're not restricted to just top line, top power play. You can have somebody on line 2 who's on power play 2, because power play 2 is getting essentially the same time as power play 1. They may even start as the first unit, depending on feel and whatnot. That's the type of unit, if they score a goal, they'll be leading out the next power play. So that's why the Ducks are one of those teams, and you got to denote these, that you can use players who are line mates on either power play. On the top one, you have Carlson and Gauthier. That's plus 425 right there. The beautiful thing about taking an awful team, the prices are incredible, as you learned with the Sharks yesterday. And then on the second power play unit, I hate one of them, but Strome and Vetrano. Vetrano might not be listed. I didn't see him listed. And there's some trade rumors. I don't know what's going on. But if it's just like for some weird thing that he wasn't listed early, then he pops late like Eklund did, you can do Strome and Vetrano. And then on the other side, I would say be weary of going Colton and Middlestat because they were on the same line together. That's one of those follow-ups where you have to check and see because they're so limited with the Avs. They're probably going to do some line juggling along the way. So you kind of got to know the exceptions. And I'm glad that you guys saw the immediate fruits of those sniffs. And it wasn't one of those things, like I call it a Chucky, where I tell everybody about something. Listen, there's this doll. He comes to life. He says, he recites this whole thing. He's trying to enter my body. And he's saying, hey, Andy. And then I call you guys in. You look, and then it's just a regular good guy doll again. That's kind of what it's like sometimes when I tell you guys about some of these things. Like they are fantastic. But then when you happen to open the cupboard, remember that? It was that the Indian in the cupboard? And then you got to close the thing and lock it. Anyway, that's it for me. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Hey, look, you get good stuff here. So what you should do is subscribe to the channel, like these videos, comments. There's a couple people who goes, wow, I realized I wasn't subscribed. Can you at least double check and make sure you're subscribed? Because look, you guys are saying things and writing things. And the numbers are starting to trickle up. How much do I even want them to trickle up? Because we're going to close these features down real quick. These features have only been around for a year or two. And, I want hockey to become popular, but not so popular that I can't enjoy these sniffs on my own. Anyway, I'll be back with you guys on Monday for another round of NHL sniffs. If you want, we got Bobby's spreadsheets on the Patreon, keeping track of all these things and the unit sizes and how much are being won. There's great chats going on in the Patreon. That's obviously where I post my stuff. I post my stuff there early, by the way. And that's where I post my weekend hockey picks. So hopefully I see you over there. If not, I will see you on Monday for another round of NHL Sniffs. I will talk to you later. And this was me yesterday, by the way. This was me as I saw these goals going in. Just full Joker.